NXT.
NXT.
EC Dub.
AET.
TNA. TNA.
Yeah, all those.
Okay, so what are we doing here?
Fyter Fest 2020 from the AEW folks.
Week 1, week 2.
Yes,
week
sir.
1, week 2, week 5, 87. Who knows? All those they probably lost to NXT.
But
I watched NXT. NXT was fun.
guess what? We got Jurassic Express versus MJF and
night
Wardlow.
Night 1. You gotta specify July 1st, night 1.
Night
Actually,
one.
before we get to that match, the first thing that was great was fucking Chris Jericho and with the fucking Canada Day picnic table shirt.
Canada Day.
It's freaking outstanding. He just fucking knows how to. He just knows how to. He has it. You know.
Shut up.
He has it.
Ever see the Masked Singer Excalibur? You should be on the Masked Idiot.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Tony Scavone.
Except for Jericho was like screaming the whole time when he's on commentary.
Yeah, it got a little. It got a little too much from time to time, but for the most part, though, I enjoyed him. I couldn't hear Excalibur to save my life.
He pretty much didn't talk very much.
Yeah.
But hey, we got Jurassic Express versus MJF and Wardlow.
No, we got MJF cutting a promo. That was pretty fucking good.
There's a ratings war.
The ratings war. Dino douche.
Yeah.
You're greener than your tongue.
Now we got Luke Perry, Jungle Boy's got to count his daddy's money. He didn't say dead dad, he should have.
He took some pot shots.
I was like, a lot of pot shots on some of these promos here, and we'll get to one later. And it's
that's a big shot.
That's a warning shot across the bow. You know.
Anyways, Jurassic Express versus MJF and Wardlow. I put first off that Jericho on commentary is the best.
Yeah.
MJF on the mic is the best.
That too. But I wrote Jungle Boy's Canadian Destroyer off of Luchasaurus and Wardlow's back was very awesome.
I was like halfway through the match.
I was just enjoying it at that point. What do you got, Albert, for notes?
It's right off the bat, MJF is the fucking man. He's great. I didn't know the first few matches I saw with him in it. I think this might have been the first match that I see where he was actually doing a lot of athletic moves. He did a nip up. He was pretty much on point every single one of his spots. He looked like he was like, honestly, it looked like he just took a break from wrestling for like 3 months and did a lot of cardio and he, I don't know, man. It's the first time I saw him be athletic in a match.
Double or Nothing with Jungle Boy was, and he had a Dynamite match with Jungle Boy like earlier this year.
Okay, I have to go back and watch those.
It's depends who he's in the ring with. He's not going to do some crazy shit with Cody. That was designed to be an old school.
Yeah.
Old school match for people like you.
Yeah, it's true. I just haven't seen it.
Right before that spot you were talking about is when they did the 4 kip ups and everybody.
That was really cool.
Yeah, it was I think it was two. I think Jungle Boy and
Jungle Boy,
Luchasaurus and Wardlow did a kip up, and then
MJF and Jungle Boy did it first, then Luchasaurus and
then
they closed on each other and went down, and Jungle Boy ran across their back.
Yeah, he did the Poison Rana off the backs of. I thought it was a pretty cool spot.
It was just a regular. The Poison Rana was.
The Poison Rana was later. They did the Canadian Destroyer at that point.
Oh, okay.
But there was the Poison Rana to Wardlow.
Yeah.
There was the springboard DDT, then the choke slam and sit up and kick to Wardlow.
Well, that was after the Dynamite Diamond. Can you do anything right? And then he hits him. He's like, oh god. Luchasaurus kicks his arm into
he accidentally hits Wardlow at the ring.
I don't think he hit him.
No, what happened was
because Luchasaurus kicked him in the ring, hit him in the face.
He went for it and stopped, and then yelled at him, like, you can't do anything right. And then Luchasaurus kicked the back of his arm, and his arm went forward.
I thought he kicked him and he ran it. I thought he kicked him.
No, that's how they were trying to play it off. It was supposed to be him getting kicked into him. And
I thought Luchasaurus kicked MJF into Wardlow, and then that was the end.
It's kind of what they did, but it's for the arm motion. Yeah.
Yep.
He hits him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or at least enough to play the part that they're trying to do.
I just didn't like the whole fact that Wardlow gets choke slammed, and then he sits up, and then Luchasaurus just does a little kick to him, and then he's down 1, 2, 3.
Well, after the kick and then the standing moonsault, but like the point I kind of get you making, because they use the MJF fuck up with the ring as like, oh, this is how they're gonna get him down.
Mm-hmm.
But then he like no-sold when he sat up. Like the whole ring shot doesn't even matter anymore when he does that.
No.
Well, that's a lot of the selling in this day and age. I hate to be Jim Cornette on you guys real quick, but that's just the way it's been going.
So,
no, don't worry, we're gonna get Jim Cornette's playset.
What would you guys rate this match?
Oh, I'm a solid 7.
So 7.
I enjoyed it.
I also gave it a 7. Jurassic Express 1. That was good.
I'd say 7.5 if Marco Stunt didn't get involved. But just to watch his ass get chucked at Jungle Boy was fine with me.
That was pretty funny. Then we had the AEW Women's Title match: Kuroshio versus Penelope Ford.
I'm gonna rate this match differently. 'Cause I'm rating it on AEW women's matches, not women's matches as a whole.
I'm rating it as just matches in general, but
Yeah, I'm not trying to compare one version of women's division.
Well, I say if I try to compare it to anything WWE does, it's not gonna be the same. But I liked it a lot.
I like the Falcon Arrow spot, and then it was turned over by Ford. That was pretty funny.
That was a good one. The drop kick,
Yeah, the Matrix spot.
the Matrix spot.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. To me, this match never really got going.
It got going more than most women's matches, and
There wasn't a lot of heat in this one, you know. Brian last.
However, okay. Well, at the same time, I would say that there's spots that look like that slap spot where they're slapping each other. They're both missing by a mile, and it looks so obvious. I think 1 or 2 maybe hit, but there's 6 total slaps, and it just didn't look real anyway. I don't think either of them were like if you're gonna just have a slap fest, you gotta at least sell it a little bit, you know. But they're just sitting there, just their hair's moving, but that's great, and all. But
I like that because right after that spot, she's got before it's got her hair all up in her face. She's getting hit and whatever. Then she gets the hair out of her face and immediately takes a kick to the face.
Yeah, okay, great. And then, but
I was like, how the hell?
But I will say this though, Ford looked fantastic. I think both of them are charismatic as shit. Both of them had the facial expressions, and I'm not saying that they suck in the ring, but this match just didn't do it for me as far as whatever the story was.
Well, and then you had Kip Sabian getting in there.
Oh, that's the worst part of the entire
throwing
match
the kendo stick up in the air.
Yeah.
Sheeta grabs it and whacks him.
I know the exact idea. They're gonna go for the hit, and you're supposed to kind of lose it, but he straight up just went, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, he throws it up in the air.
Who gets hit and throws things in the air?
I like dropping it, getting hit letting go of it when your hand's up here, that's in the air. But he straight up threw that shit in the sky.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Penelope Ford be champ at some point.
I wouldn't mind it.
So I mean,
especially when she did the lethal injection, that was really cool.
Yeah.
She a lot of her moves worked in this match.
Then Sheeta does the Shining Wizard. Gets the 1, 2, 3, so Sheeta's still champ, which makes sense.
A lot of what happens makes sense.
What would you rate that match?
I'm down to a 5, but I'm not saying it's because they didn't work hard. It's just the overall execution, because I like the way they both looked. A lot of the women's matches in AEW haven't been up to snuff, so this is.
I'd say
no
this
exception.
one and Sheeta's title win over Nyla are my 2 favorites for the women's matches because they haven't really all been that great.
That's true. So I gave it a 7 because of that. Because compared to other AEW women's matches, this one's actually really good.
I was gonna say I'll give it 6.5, 7-ish. But I will say it might just be with my investment in AEW and my interest in it. I thoroughly enjoyed this more than any of the ROH women's matches we've watched so far.
I'm to the point where I agree with that too, but then again, we've only watched a couple, and they've had just bad spots.
Yeah, small sample size, but so far. Well, actually, the one women's match on the opener for the Field of Honor.
Yeah, that one
was actually a pretty decent match.
That was good.
Yeah. Well, that's not going to be up this time.
But anyways, then you had the TNT title match: Cody Rhodes versus Jake Hager.
It did what it set out to do.
Yeah, because I liked the whole dueling ankle lock spots.
They were going for a realistic presentation and fight, and that's kind of what it felt like.
Yeah. I liked Arn Anderson with his little playbook with the same thing you would see a football coach have on the sidelines. I thought that was entertaining.
And then Hager choking out Arn, German suplex onto the floor to Cody.
That was a good. This is what we're gonna get into because this is a TV show, and we were watching the TV show, and not the Fight TV version of it. There are commercial breaks. This is probably the best commercial break spot they did because it actually cut at a good time instead of just hey, we're gonna go to break now.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna lose all the heat Hager was gonna get on Rhodes, but we still got a pretty good portion of it, so I was pleasantly surprised with that.
There was the nice top rope cutter by Cody and the power slam by Cody.
twice I had an issue, both times watching this match over, from the first time I watched it and then watching it with you guys again. Because I didn't see night 2, but I did see night 1 before they came over here. The problem I have with that spot is both times I watched it, I was like, I see Hager just kind of
Lollygagging.
It's kind of like, oh, I'm knocked out, but not really, just waiting for it to happen. And then Cody like freezes. Like, you should make safe, but like it felt like it waited a second or two like a second too long for me to be like, yeah, it was cool. It was just like, oh.
Yeah, there's times where that happens, and I'm trying not to like be too critical of it, because I mean, you have to have the timing right, and if you don't have it, it's probably very, very hard to do that. I can't do it, obviously. I'd be doing it, but if it was that easy, then we'd all be doing it. And,
it wouldn't be special. Nobody would be doing it, actually. If we all could do it, nobody would be doing it.
Right.
I like that Hager bomb too. The first one, and then the one that was reversed by Cody and DDT.
It's a Vader bomb. Hager bomb. Hager bomb. The Jericho's scream.
We're just like manipulating the word Hager.
Well, I think my favorite actual like Hager bomb on
The Gator
Dynamite was actually the first time that the Vader bomb was used on TV and Shivani was being brought in. Shivani goes, "My God, they still call it the Vader bomb?" Like, he was marking out that they still called it the Vader bomb.
He was probably in WCW calling that like every time it happened.
He was, and he was excited that they still called it that because he hadn't been commentating in how long.
The submission seconds, is that like a beta test to see if that sticks with fans?
I have never seen that before, so we'll see what happens.
So they did show that. They also showed stats for some reason randomly of how many grapples
like I said,
each of them
they
have
were
done.
going for a real fight feel. They did the fight press conference, which was stagey and fake as hell, but it was what it was.
So I'm wondering if all that is kind of like to see what happens if fans, or see how fans react to it.
I think for me it works. Cody's Cody. He's gonna do whatever, and Jake Hager is a professional fighter.
But the thing is, though, is like if they wanted to make this like legit, right? Wouldn't they show that during all of the TNT title matches?
That's what I was getting at.
And they haven't done that, and since this is the first one they've done it for, so it's weird.
Yeah.
Don't worry, the next TNT title is Sunny Kiss, which is gonna be a completely drastically different match than this.
That's gonna be a 10-star match.
I mean, it could be.
So I guess we'll find out if it's going to be like just a one thing for Cody, or if it's going to be for all title matches going forward.
Well, they had a similar, like, they not with the submissions and shit like that, but there was a similar graphic that they put up for like the tail of the tape shit for Mox and Jericho. Like this, it's a similar style but different.
True, and then of course
see next week with Mox and
Hager's wife slapped Cody, which triggered Dustin to come out there and hit Hager.
There's also a spot you guys didn't see, but I don't think you saw it. We didn't talk about it, but Cody was on the outside, and she's wearing her heels, and she steps over his back.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, digs her heels into her as like a step over.
Oh, I didn't see that at all.
Yeah, that happened too, which is like that was the two reasons she was out there, is to do this and smack him.
I didn't care much for the finish because it came out of nowhere to me.
Well, the flip into the pin?
No, yeah. My issue with the finish isn't with that. My issue with the finish is, and here comes Dustin. Smack.
And then the flip into the pin.
And I didn't really see it happening until, I'm sorry. I saw the pin happening. I didn't know that.
Because it was like a triangle choke into the pin, kind of like a Kurt Angle Undertaker No Way Out 06.
It was supposed to be the triangle choke is what happened in No Way Out 06, but this is just supposed to be his finisher, that standing arm choke that he does, but he was on the ground and he rolled into it.
Yep, which reminds you of No Way Out 07.
They should have kept the music from playing for a few seconds to make Jake Hager's believability that he won, because they played the music instantaneously, so Hager should have.
They should have given it a second or two.
And then the spot of the night,
Hager punching out the referee.
Spot of the match where Hager knocks out the referee.
And the guy's soul heels.
Even
spread eagle flat back is great.
Even Jericho couldn't even defend his. But can't even defend his own guy punching the referee.
Yeah, he deserved it. He deserved it. Stupid idiot.
So obviously Cody won that. What would you guys rate that?
I'll go with a 6.
Yeah, the match tonight so far is still the main. Like I said, it's like it did what it was meant to do.
I gave this one 7.5 just because the storytelling.
Knowing it, yeah, but I don't keep trying, but I don't have an interest in Hager.
Yeah.
I'm more
trying.
interested in them now, but like
I'm trying.
with the inner circle, I like it, but as like an individual star or athlete, I don't really care.
Then after that, was that the Taz promo or was that after the?
That's
next
after
match?
the next match.
After this,
All right, so you got Santana and Ortiz versus Private Party.
which we would soon find out later in the night was a number one contenders match out of nowhere, because they got to find a replacement for Mox, because they did.
Mox and
For
Cage
Mox and
needed a
Cage.
replacement because of the COVID-19 pandemic, which makes sense.
Because of WWE's, we'll get there.
We'll get there. Albert, you're gonna have to be the one who does the notes on this one because I didn't write any because I was just enjoying this.
It got to the point where I was enjoying it too because
The boys were in it,
The boys.
which is funny because that's not even good. This is going up before that too.
We'll see it eventually, guys. Don't worry.
This was the commercials were starting to get to me a little bit. Like they kept cutting out like in spots. And
They cut
Yeah.
here like 2 minutes after the match started. I'm like, this is some WWE bullshit.
yeah, and like I mean, you gotta have commercials, and I get it, but like
But we're watching the Hulu version, so the
Well,
Hulu commercials are stupid.
yeah.
There's no picture in
I
picture.
fucked this one up, but we got picture in picture for the second one.
yeah,
We had the commercial with Amazon.
this was definitely a spot fest. I'm getting more and more used to. I'm getting more and more used to the idea when tag teams have a long time in between tags to get out of the ring. So I'm fine with it. If it's what you're doing, I'm fine with it. The dude from Power Party, Mark Quinn, right?
Yes.
Yep.
He's a baller.
Stud.
I love this kid. He's a fucking stud.
Gin and juice.
Yeah. That move, the silly string, that's freaking awesome. I love it.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
Silly
freaking
String's
love
the
it.
one that you did with the contrived spot. The gin and juice at the end is the finisher.
Yeah.
With
Yeah,
the
and,
cutter. Yep.
Yeah, I
The
kept
Silly
get-
String one is the one where Quinn's on the outside and Cassie one of them's on the outside and they go over on each other's back.
Yeah,
to come back,
yeah,
twist in.
that's
and
the one.
DDT. Yeah, that's the Silly String.
the gin and juice is
The RKO finisher where they throw him
right,
across the
okay.
ring.
Yeah, but I mean Mark Quinn, like and I'm sorry, the second night against Omega and Paige,
We'll get to that one, too.
we'll talk about him again. But like every time he's in the match, like I'm watching, no doubt about it.
He's I have nothing against Cassie, but he's definitely like 3 or 4 times like the highlight of that team.
Yeah, I mean,
Private Party took a win there.
I just want to comment because I said it right when they came out. It's like, yeah, so apparently one of Matt Hardy's personas is being a manager for Private Party.
yeah.
And then one of you went, Michael Hayes.
I think it was
I
him.
did because I was like, he looks like Michael Hayes when he managed the Hardy Boys
Yeah.
back in the day.
He was called Doc Hendricks. I mean, what a dumb name. Good lord.
Well, he was known as Michael Hayes then. At that point in time, they called him Michael Hayes.
Oh, I thought it was Doc Hendricks, but
They called him Michael P.S. Hayes.
Postscript, I suppose.
Post-scrotum.
Or piece of shit.
Yeah, when I first
Piece of shit.
I wrote man for this match because it was just a spot fest, and I was like, okay, there's no story, but I mean the story is they're fighting for the number one contender for the title,
They didn't know
for the
that
tag team
before,
titles.
though.
Yeah, they didn't know that before this.
But we kind of did because of the situation, so we kind of had the inside scoop. But their match to me was about a 6 at tops.
I gave it a 7.
I don't know much about Santana and Ortiz, but
They're great.
I'm just trying to get used to
I think
it.
my
all.
whole thing with it is like, yeah, like 6, 7, 7.5, all that. It's like, it's still free TV.
Hey,
It's not like you're paying $50 for 7 stars across the board.
yeah.
And that's pretty much what I've been doing. 7 stars across the board.
If you can do 7 stars across the board for a live TV, like free live TV,
Yeah, no,
that's a
they're
solid
doing
show.
Good. They're doing good.
if you're giving away 8 and 9 8 out of 10 and 9 out of 10 matches like on every match on
God,
live
then
TV,
that'd
what's
be
the point? What's the point of buying the pay-per-view?
True. Maybe I'm being a little too critical. I guess I'm not sure.
And
No,
then
you're right in the right ballpark.
after this, we had the Taz and Brian Cage promo, where they pretty much just called out WWE.
Well, they
Yeah.
called out Mox originally. Well, you
Kayfabe
tested,
wise,
you,
yeah.
well, no, like literally, he did test. He tested negative twice. He could have been there if he wanted to be,
Yeah.
but
He chose not to.
he chose not.
Because he's a face and he did
He
the right thing.
wanted to be 100% certain.
And then like I said, Taz comes out, and he's the ultimate. Well, not the ultimate heel, but the ultimate heel move is to mock the face doing the right thing and be right.
And mock the rival company and piss them off.
Dude,
No, you
slop
can't.
shop.
You can't be pissed for being called out on literally something that fucked their main event.
Oh, trust me, no, you.
Oh, they're mad because it's true.
They can be pissed, but the thing is it's true.
Like, people can be
Because-
as mad as they want to be, but when Renee Young, who works for WWE, gets COVID, that stops Moxley from being able to be there for their main event they've been promoting for 2 months.
Yeah, quit being irresponsible.
And also,
Nutshell.
this comes back to why I thought they were petty putting Great American Bash up against this when they announced it literally the week before Fyter Fest was even supposed to happen. Like, we're putting the Great American Bash up there. I thought that was petty.
It was.
And then they also fucked their main event up.
Well, I mean,
Because Cage versus Mox
Obviously-
going against Lee and Cole would have been like, oh, yeah, see what
obviously they
happens.
didn't fuck it on purpose, but WWE did screw up by doing that because only 2 people have been even potentially positive with COVID, and that was QT Marshall. And that, by the sound of it, has nothing WWE related.
And he immediately just didn't come.
And then
Totally.
Moxley obviously is married to Renee Young,
And
who
also,
works for WWE, who was in the Performance Center when all these people are testing positive for COVID, all the producers and whatnot.
oh, Renee tested positive too.
Yeah, no, she did. But then so did like Kayla Braxton twice. Adam Pearce tested with it. Adam Pearce said, "Hey, it's my birthday. Guess what I got? COVID-19."
You know the funniest thing about it
Jamie
is,
Noble tested positive for it.
like, I hate to go on this, but it's about the sloppy shop thing. Because then WWE gets mad that people are telling people that they have it.
Yeah, so Vince literally told all the wrestlers that have COVID-19, you do not say that you have it.
What are you gonna do? You can't fire him. That's not a fireable offense.
Yeah, you get sued for that.
Well, especially because that's like medical record. That's like saying that you got tested positive for, let's say, like HIV. You can come out and say that if you want to.
Like,
Your job can't fire you for testing positive.
Your
with
job,
it.
your job can't fire you for being sick.
Yeah.
That's literally like in almost every single.
Unless something
job
in your
code.
contract that says you can be, you can't get fired for just because you get sick. I mean,
Yeah, because that's American Disabilities Act.
Yeah.
Like if you somehow came up
Right.
with, let's say, fucking
I just
asthma.
I just love it because that sloppy shop comment comes for that, but also at the same time, the next day the Keith Lee Adam Cole match got spoiled on Twitter because one of the NXT stars in the crowd put it on Instagram.
Yeah, which that was stupid too, but
And then another NXT guy took the sloppy shop comment as a comment about that, and not COVID for some reason. I don't know where he got that from. He said, "Not a sloppy shop. We don't run a sloppy shop. We filmed 2 endings."
I mean,
that's outstanding.
don't get me wrong. I'll give it to the dude trying to defend the tapings, because he's just trying to make himself look good for Vince and Triple H.
That doesn't
totally
make anybody
understand.
look good, I think.
It's so
No,
hard
but
to.
no,
though.
but saying that there's 2 endings to the match, at least that person's trying to defend it a little bit. He's not defending the COVID, which makes sense, but he's trying to sit there and defend the fact that the main event was spoiled.
I forgot the entire quote, but Joey Genoa made a joke about it. About the 2 endings thing. He said something about the taping for the Lance Archer match. Like, yeah, we taped 2 ending. I really hope they use this one. I want to find it. 'Cause
Joey Janela.
He was
God.
mocking that. But we can move on to the next match where I look this up.
So then we had the AEW Tag Team title match, the first one
Mhm.
of the 2-night Fyter
The
Fest
main
show.
event of night 1.
We had Kenny Omega and Hangman Page versus Best Friends. And first off, the Best Friends get a ride from Trent's mom.
It is great. I loved it. I don't care what anybody says. This is fantastic.
I think it was stupid but funny. Like, I get why they
Well,
did
it's
it.
definitely stupid,
But
but
if you're trying to look serious, I don't know.
have the Best Friends ever truly tried to look serious?
Trent, I feel, does.
I don't know, man. They literally gave up their chance of winning this match so they can do the give the people what they want hug. If you watch, they had all the momentum, then they hugged each other and immediately got their ass kicked.
Yeah.
But, man. Oh, man. Paige almost died at the beginning when Trent backdropped him on his neck.
Yeah. It's all like there was a couple of times where like I'm cringing like, oh, that was close.
There was that suplex into the barricade to Omega
On the page.
On the page.
on the Page.
That's my most memorable spot because to be honest, almost every Omega Page match I've seen so far has them in the ring and just going from one spot to the next and everything. And I've already seen a couple spot fests in this card already, and I'm like, come on, the story is for the tag belts, and I get it, but like sometimes I'm just like, oh, come on.
Then there's
I
that
don't know, man.
sick ass pile driver to Omega too.
You say that, but then it did awful waffle.
Yeah.
You say that, but then we go into the next match, the opener tag team title match for night 2. That is more of a spot fest than this match was.
Maybe because Private Party was in it.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
It's vindictive of who's.
Because like obviously there's a pecking order with the tag teams, and obviously Private Party is eons above Best Friends, in my opinion. That I've
I
seen
agree.
so far. So it's possible that was the reason, and we'll get to that match in a second.
I just can't get around Chuck Taylor. I can't. I can't do it.
But you're right though. That's an interesting question. Like, why is one spot fest more interesting than the next one?
Because you're more invested in the team's performance.
Probably.
Yeah. That's why I also
It has
think
to be
the
there.
8-man tag match on night 2 is a spectacle that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, because like the Private Party versus Santana and Ortiz was the same kind of match. It was the same idea. Most tag
Not
team
a fan
matches
of
in
Santana
AEW
and
are the
Ortiz.
same. But it's because Private Party was in it. So I think I'm a Private Party fan. So
I'm definitely.
I want to get to the VIP room at some point.
I want to get to the VIP room too. There are some very awesome Snapdragons.
Yeah, I like that move. I don't care what Jim Cornette says about it. I like that move.
There was the strong zero. There was the strong zero to Page.
What's the strong zero?
That's the.
Pretty much the dead
It's
eye.
almost like the Deadeye, but Chuck Taylor jumps off the top rope and kicks him in the ass while he's dropping.
Okay.
Then there's the awful waffle again.
Awful
I
Waffle's
fucking
a
hate
horrible
that
word.
name.
Horrible name.
To
And
Omega.
they're using the word awful to name a move, and then you watch what it actually is. It makes sense because it looks like a clusterfuck pile driver, basically.
Then you got a hug.
And that's where they lost everything. It went downhill from there, and Paige basically did all the work.
Then there was the dead eye kick out. The buckshot to Trent.
It wasn't the best Deadeye I've seen.
The 1, 2, 3. So Omega and Page win.
I get to say for the first time ever, I get to say something negative about Omega. Don't disrespect somebody who gives you a beer.
True. FTR comes out and gives Page and Omega beers. Kenny pours it all down.
And everybody gets pissed at Kenny, except for the Bucks come out to make sure he doesn't get his ass beat by everybody.
And then there's dissension in the ranks between the tag team of Omega and Page. What would you rate that tag title match?
Not as high as I'm going to rate the next one.
I'm gonna go with a 6. I thought it was okay.
I gave it a 7.5.
I'll give it a 7 because I really like Hangman Page and Kenny Omega, so they can make almost any team work.
Yeah, and
And I like Trent, too.
See, I gave it 7.5.
From Trent's mom at the beginning to the opening at the end, if you put it all together, I'll give it a 7.
yeah, it's not that I think everyone in the match sucks. It's just that sometimes I just get thrown out of the match when there's no real story.
I don't think Trent should be doing stupid spots. Not Trent, yes. I don't think Chuck E. T should be doing stupid spots.
Yeah, when we saw him in Ring of Honor, I wasn't impressed with him in Ring of Honor either. So
No, me
Gotta
neither.
find the invisible man or invisible hand grenade.
Then we open night 2.
Night
Night
2.
2.
Let's open with this. Definitely a better show.
Yes.
Definitely a better
Because
show.
we open it with an AEW tag team title match. Kenny Omega and Adam Page
Short.
versus Private Party.
Short, sweet, and fast.
maybe that's why I liked it as well. Because we've seen some of these like Briscoe's match. They'll go 20 minutes, and there's no structure to the match other than what they call in the ring, perhaps. And so maybe that's why I like this match. Not to mention Private Party was in it, as opposed to the other tag team matches I've seen.
I can
so
name
far.
like long spot fest matches that worked. Was like the Young Bucks versus Lucha Brothers at Double or Nothing.
Okay.
Young Bucks versus Hangman Page and Kenny Omega from Revolution. That worked as a spot fest longer match because there was a story in it, and they had the lulls where it slowed down.
Yeah.
But spot fests that go too long. This was short, sweet, crisp, smooth. Everybody did what they had to do.
There was the power bomb to Mark Quinn into the crowd.
I felt like they actually convinced me that Private Party could actually win this match, which
Yeah.
kind of gets you more invested when you know, like, you actually think that somebody can win.
Isaiah Cassidy dove onto Page
I thought you were
and
gonna say
the people
Crabtree.
that were into the crowd.
That was in the same spot with the power bomb, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
he powerbombs him, and then that Cassidy's jump over the ropes, land on the second rope, flip. That's the one you're talking about.
Because
Yep.
we all thought maybe was that a
I thought
botch?
he
Well,
missed.
I did. I thought it was a botch at first.
And then you realize he hit the ropes like, that's smooth.
Yeah, I don't know how you can do that. But, hey, you practice and you get it right, so there you go.
Then there was the Snapdragon to Mark Quinn.
Yeah, Snapdragon's a great move.
Then there was the Spanish Fly by both members
The
of Private
double-
Party.
That one just looked like a mess where they all did a flip. Because it didn't look like anybody actually hit anything. They just all kind of
Because I thought Omega closed on both of them, but they ended up doing the Spanish Fly on him.
Yeah. It looked a little... That was like the least smooth thing that happened in this match.
There was I think Paige powerbombed Quinn on Cassidy at some point.
Well, yeah, that was right after the
Well,
monkey flip into the... He monkey flips Quinn, who does a 450 flip onto his own teammate when he gets monkey flipped by
Well, then
Paige.
there was the...
And then gets picked up for the power.
There was the springboard DDT to the outside to Paige, too.
Yeah.
Then Quinn does that amazing shooting star to Paige.
Yeah, he's pretty much like floating. Like Michael Jordan when he's dunking off from the foul line. It looks like it's taking forever to get to the
That
basket.
shooting star
It was amazing.
is a flawless.
Then
I've never seen it done better.
Then there was the V trigger. Then there was the buckshot lariat V trigger to Cassidy.
And then that was it.
1, 2, 3. Omega and Paige win. What do you rate it?
8.
Oh yeah,
I gave it an 8 as well.
I'll stay up there too, but I'm still. They're really putting it close. You got to take the titles off them eventually. This is their 7th title defense.
Who's it gonna be?
Well, and the worst thing is, like, I look at it like people are like, oh, they made Hangman and Kenny champions just to set up their feud, but now they basically deem them the best tag team in the division because they've won they've defended the title 7 times.
Well, that should lead to a great title change.
But the issue I'm getting at is
Oh.
all these official great tag teams. I don't see the next title reign going 7 title defenses over the course of 8 months or some shit like this one.
Yeah.
They booked a team that wasn't the team to be like
The best team.
the best team.
Well, in a way, they're the elite. Does that count as a team, or is the Young Bucks pretty much
The Young
supposed to
Bucks
be?
are
The Young Bucks and
are the
Omega are the
team.
elite.
The Young
Yeah.
Bucks are the team of the elite when it comes to the elite, but then Hangman and that.
Okay, so I got a question about these long angles in AEW. Are they Oh, I'm sorry, the long burning angles, I should say, is what I meant to say.
Burning angles.
Okay, so WWE does those from time to time, but they usually do it through, like, it's usually 2 guys versus each other, and they'll have, like, multiple matches, and they'll have 50-50 booking. Whereas in this one, it's going to be a slow burn to one of those 2 guys turning heel and the other. I'm talking about Omega and Paige. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
But they're slow burning it.
They've been slow burning it since their first tag team match was in
Since their first take
November of last year.
yeah.
So how do you guys feel about this slow burning angle that you know is going to happen?
We're just waiting for it to pay off.
I like it because I want to know who's going to be the one turning.
Now, how far do you think they should go with it?
All out.
It should be all out. Because if it's not all out, it's full gear, but then that's almost a whole year of waiting for this burn.
That's literally gonna be
And
a
I
year
feel
at that
like-
point.
Well, if they keep Hangman being his aggressive, drinking, fun-loving fan favorite that he is, even when the fans aren't there,
Yeah.
that's better than turning him on Kenny and keeping Kenny the way Kenny is. Kenny as a face, as much as I like him as a wrestler, is not good.
Yeah, he had that promo he cut with Paige at the beginning of before this
Paige
match.
was
It was
fine.
pretty generic.
Paige was okay, but
Yeah. So
Kenny
like,
was,
and I like this angle as well because instead of like having this like a match to where one guy turns on the other and then they fight each other for about like 5 months and they keep beating each other and like it doesn't go anywhere and they try to throw additional. I'm talking about WWF by the way, trying to create more and more layers that aren't so
Get
unnecessary.
the F out.
And you get burnt out of an angle within like 3 months. Whereas this one has been doing really, really well for like 8 months.
and also we know
And you still want to know who wins.
And also-
or how
it's
it turns
gonna
out.
Who turns?
what's funny because how they're gonna win. Like I want to know if they're gonna like legit lose and turn after they lose, or if the other team's gonna take the belt from them because they turn in the match. I think what's gonna happen is they're gonna lose, and that's why Hangman's gonna turn. That's why I think it's gonna be Hangman because he said the words
My
"my
titles.
titles."
Yeah, WWE needs to take notes on how to do to these burning angles because they want to hot chat things. Because I mean, I get they have a weekly show and they have the get pay-per-views booked and all that shit. but like they hotshot angles sometimes so much.
And that's the funniest thing about saying that. I want to say it's going to be him the turn, but it can also be Kenny the turn because Kenny and the Bucks don't like the drinking.
Yep.
They don't like Hangman being the drunk. They always try to take his drinks away. They always try to do this. So there's that. Like, why'd you bring a drink to the interview? The Revolution promo.
Fun killer.
And then like there's that.
Buzz
So
killer.
he could cut there. Like, if you weren't drinking all the time, we could have won this match. Like they wouldn't have lost the titles. Or
Right.
Paige can obviously go egocentric asshole because
Yeah.
they're my titles.
So, I mean, it's my favorite angle in AEW for sure. So
It's 2020 slow motion apocalyptic cowboy.
I have to next time I watch AEW. I gotta look for those little tidbits.
At
those
least
little-
Hangman Page always has one.
Yep.
Because that's where the has been drinking.
Well, somebody
shirt-
else had one too.
Yeah. Well, like I'm saying, they all have the graphic and
Yeah.
they say something, but his is always like a joke. That's where my has been drinking shirt came from.
Gotcha.
He was on commentary to pop
You know,
up.
like Matt Hardy's probably like, yeah, I invented that.
Probably.
It's
Version
fucking
1.0.
2020 slow motion.
Yeah.
Apocalyptic cowboy.
Then we had Joey Janela versus Lance Archer.
Lance let Joey do too much.
Way
Well, this
too
match
much.
started with Lance having Sonny on his back and kicking
was
So it's
Sonny.
like, I found him backstage between the time that you got out here like 30 seconds ago and now.
And you didn't
Then he
notice.
threw Sonny onto Joey.
And then Sonny was fine.
And Sonny was like, okay, I'm just gonna walk around the ringside like I wasn't beaten up and I wasn't thrown on somebody else. And,
Joey got slammed
Life
into
goes
the
on.
barricade.
yeah, he did.
The one that was set up outside during a commercial break, mind you.
Oh yeah,
God.
Joey set up a table that'll eventually be used against him. Which isn't a DQ for some reason, because he still put him through the table.
Yeah.
Joey bounced onto Archer when the ref was distracted by Jake the Snake Roberts, and then
Mhm.
Sonny kissed at a 450 splash. That was okay.
Yep.
Yeah, but this is where okay, the two things I don't understand. Why was Jake complaining in the first place that had to get the ref's attention? Two, why are they using the heel tactic to get
the
to get the
faces.
faces to cheat?
Yeah.
Like, I don't get in any way how
Yeah.
a face does what happens. I get like, oh, you want to win and fuck this guy, but like, you're
True.
a face.
And then the same thing with the table. I was like, okay, disqualification. When the second he goes right through, I was like, oh, come on. It's
Then
called-
Blackout
I
through the table.
Blackout through the table is fine.
Archer wins. I gave it a 6.
I was right there too. I dug Archer. I mean, beside the fact they sold too much.
A murder
I think it would have
hawk.
been 6.5 if he didn't let Genoa do so.
I might have gone to a 7 if he just like squashed the shit out of him.
Not the shit. Like, don't cut everything out. Like, it went a little too long because he let him do too much.
Yeah.
You gotta let him do something.
I think they could have taken some of the minutes out of this match
And,
and
added it to.
and gave it maybe to Pirate Party and Omega Page or
And they could have.
I do feel like every match had their time though. I
Yeah.
didn't feel like any of them got shorted because of time.
No.
and there's like 6 matches in 2 hours.
I think in one promo.
Maybe
That's
one
fine.
promo. Actually 2. Well,
If you count the end of the squash match.
yeah. Well, I mean, hell, they could have probably cut Nyla Rose out of all that and just had to do the promo.
And the promo sucked. The promo was like, I'm gonna get a manager. Like, I'm just gonna say that now. I don't want to care. I don't
Well,
care.
go get a manager. We don't give a shit.
Unless it's somebody that matters. Like all the other managers she named off.
So then, was the Taz promo after this
Yep.
match, or was it?
Yep.
All
It was
right.
right after.
So Taz comes out and
Major
calls
announcement.
out Moxley again, and then hands Brian Cage the FTW championship from his ECW
You may
days.
not have thought this was cool, but I thought the promo was lackluster, but bringing the FTW
bringing the belt
title,
back was cool.
If there's a story behind it, I'm cool with that. But to sit there and say that Cage needs momentum, you're killing the main event. He doesn't need momentum. He already won the number 1 contender.
But
He won a ladder match. He hasn't had a real match other than like a couple squashes against jobbers.
he's had squashes, and then he had the ladder match. And that was it.
But that's all you need to have momentum. You don't need to like get a fake belt that doesn't mean anything other than for maybe some novelty or some cult like following. The belt means nothing.
Like I always said, I think Darby's going to have something to do with why Cage doesn't win. And then I
Potentially,
think
yeah.
Darby and Cage are going to fight it all out for that FT.
What's their story?
Taz wanted to help Darby after he was going on a losing streak, and Darby
Darby said
basically
no.
Darby basically after the second or third time told him to fuck off.
And then when got Brian Cage.
And then Brian Cage debuted it.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And beat the living shit out of Darby and everybody else.
So like we said, the promo, not really that great.
They could have just not have it at all.
But the championship bringing it out, that was cool.
They had to say something to lead to bringing the title out, but
Well, they did.
It's very generic.
Well, I mean, but they had the hype for this one and the other show. I don't think they needed to bring him out and do it again and say the same shit over and over again. Besides
I don't think
the title.
they wanted to. It's just they needed.
They need to fill some time.
Yeah,
They had everything already booked.
So I agree
out.
with the promo being lackluster, but I mean the title looked cool, so I'll give it that. But like
It's the original.
but
It
like,
is. You can tell because the strap on the back is faded. So that's back from 1998.
Something like that.
So it'd be funny if Cage decides to defend it like the $1 million belt was defended, and it doesn't really mean anything.
But then we had the Butcher and the Blade and Lucha Bros versus Young Bucks and FTR. First off, the Butcher, the Blade, and Lucha Bros drove FTR's truck that they stole.
That they stole 2 weeks ago.
Grand Theft Auto.
I want to make one comment. I'm not going to say what it is yet, but we had a first time ever history-making thing happen in this match.
Tag team wrestling
Well, that
with
happened.
rules.
Well, that happened, and a Lucha Brothers match with rules. That made
It's
sense.
true.
But but the point I was gonna get is I'll get to it at the end. Yeah,
Okay.
it's that. I'll
So
get to
what's
it
it?
at the end.
All right, what notes did you take over? Because I took some, not a ton.
Spot Fest fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, but the Spot Fest.
All right, that's
for
how you wrote.
The Spot Fest actually makes sense.
I wanted to watch. Well, this is when we're talking about how am I going to take notes for a tag team match that I don't know if I can keep up with writing and miss the next two.
That's right.
spots.
That's
So
right.
like
That's why we're gonna start doing audio notes for you and
the
during
general-
I'll
those
see
times.
what happens.
The general purpose of this match. The general purpose of this match is to do the feud with the Young Bucks and FTR.
Yeah.
Because Butcher Blade and Lucha Brothers actually go over. What I can say is everything kind of worked in this. Even their spots worked.
Yeah.
I like the tag spot where it's like, all right, I take you in, and you take him in, and I take him in, and I take him in. Now we got 10 seconds. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And I think you mentioned it, and then Jim Ross did the same thing.
So I wrote that there was some really good double team moves. The super kick into the Dragon Suplex was awesome.
Uh-huh.
The super kick fake out into the DDT was cool.
The Canadian Destroyer to the outside on top of everybody.
Yep, I wrote that
Was
as
that the
well.
one-
Where
was
the
that-
one where Jackson almost died because he almost hit the barricade.
Yep, because Phoenix did the Canadian Destroyer onto everybody. There was the Shatter Machine to the Butcher.
Okay, so
That looked
here's I want to talk about this because this is where I was talking about the story and why I'm rating this match so highly. Because it's building the story for the Bucks and FTR. I can't remember what Buck it was, but they did Scott
One of the young
Dawson or Dax Harwood, and one of the Bucks did the super kick,
Yep, so there was the Meltzer driver,
and then the other
Blade.
the other Buck and Cash Wheeler did the Shatter Machine.
Yep.
And then they did the Meltzer driver as well. They were just basically doing each other's shit without their tag team partner doing it. They're switching teams to know how much well they know each other and shit
Exactly.
I dug that.
Then there was the double team package pile driver.
Yep.
Lucha Bros and Butcher and Blade.
I didn't finish my sentence because that reminded me. Right before that spot is when Matt super kicks Cash or
Yep.
super kicks Dax because he one of the Lucha Brothers moved out of the way or whatever. But when they get to the end of the match, they shake hands and they go their way instead of being like the normal shitty.
And I think that's great.
Yeah, they played it off like, oh, yeah. It's not like, because like we were talking about after it happened, I was like, I'm happy it happened that way, because I thought that was going to lead to the blow-off of why they start fighting again. Like, they're going to fight because they want to know who the best is. That's what the match is centered around, not, you kicked me in the face and then blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it's who's the better team.
I never really liked that. They got out of the way, so you hit me. It's the same thing with the MJF Wardlow thing. There really shouldn't be any heat because he got hit by him. Because it's the same thing. Guy moved out of the way, gets hit. It's the degrading nature that MJF treats Wardlow that's going to lead to the end of that.
Correct.
I don't like that both spots happen the same way, where they move out of the way and he punches him. But Battle Royal a few months back in this.
So, what would you guys rate that particular match?
I'm going to do it with a 7. I guess may not like a Spot Fest match, but when it's fun, it's fun. I can't deny it. Match was good.
I gave it an 8.
Yeah, I was going to go an 8.
Yeah.
No, mainly because of one. I did not talk about it at all, really. Ray Phoenix is the best person in this match. As a singular athlete and performer.
Yeah, the singular athlete for sure.
Yeah.
The best tag team in this match is FTR.
Yeah, like I said a second ago, like if it's a spot fest and I know it, I'm gonna watch it and it's gonna be great.
It's a spot fest with FTR in it.
Yeah,
And the spots that they participated in made sense.
and I like the revival, so let's see more of this. I have no problems with it.
FTR.
Fuck
the revival.
Yeah.
Then we had Kenzie Page and Kylan King versus
Well,
Nyla Rose.
wait. Now, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't even care about the match. I just wrote down manager. I was like, God help us.
I wrote
Sorry about that. Who are the participants again? Sorry.
Kylan King and
And
Kenzie
the
Page.
youngest performer in AEW history, 18 years old, Kenzie Page. We
Versus
literally just
Nyla
got
Rose.
thrown around. the entire-
Yeah.
I literally just wrote squash. I gave it a 3 out of 10.
Here's
Jeez.
the squash right here. Kenzie Page gets the absolute living shit kicked out of her pretty much the entire time, and the other girl got to ride Nyla for like a minute. That's the only offense they got.
Yeah, it was a sleeper holder, right?
Try to
there.
choke her from behind. So
Yeah.
she just got a piggyback ride for a minute.
So I gave it 3 out of 10 just for walking into the ring.
I give it 2 out of 10.
Just showing up.
I'll give the match a 3 out of 10, but I give it a 2 out of 10 for how shitty that promo afterwards was.
If it's the same segment, yeah, it's a 2. If it's the match was what it was and we knew it. 2
Hey,
on 1.
I need a manager. I've already been champion, and I want to be champion again.
No, the best
with the manager this time.
The best part about it was I had more fun making fun of it than I did listening to her talk about
We
it.
all said the same thing, almost at the same time. Like you won the title already without without a manager.
Why do you need
and
one?
She comes out like, all great champions have managers. Cody and Arn, like you were already champion.
And she just like, where's my manager?
Like Cody and Arn, and Lance Archer and Jake Roberts and fucking all that.
Archer's no longer. Archer's not a champ.
Archer's not a champ.
But like they're doing all
Spears
that.
isn't a
It's like,
chance.
right, they're talking about all the managers. Like, yeah, cool. I love all these managers, but it's like you left out Tully and Spears. Like that hasn't worked out.
Private Party isn't winning like championships yet.
Oh, I do want to go back to the last match. They do continue to slightly tease that 4 Horsemen thing.
Yeah.
Because between having Tully and for no reason whatsoever other than just to say they were there, during that match, they had Tully and Spears shown on camera sitting there watching the match.
Well, Wheeler did do the.
No, I was getting there. And then right after they showed him, they cut to the ring, and you see on the apron,
You got the glove on.
he's got the he's got the Lucha Brothers glove on.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to talk about that too. So we got to go back to that.
All right.
And then he's doing the 4 with the glove on. I was like, oh, yes, he's doing the 4 Horsemen thing. We did not touch on the miracle that happened, the history-making event that happened in that.
That's
takeover
right.
match.
No Cerro Nero.
The entire match, Penta didn't zero Mierdo somebody.
He
did
tried.
He did the signal for it, but he didn't say it.
He didn't do the thing, and then when you're on the stage afterwards, he does the thing.
He did the no part.
But
He didn't do the fear part.
It wasn't the freaking 10 back and forths like.
Probably because there's no crowd doing it with him. So.
True.
But it was the first time ever that I can remember watching anything with Penta in it that they didn't do the zero fear.
Yeah. So Nyla Rose 2 out of 10. We can move on.
Yeah. Then we had Colt Cabana on the Dark Order versus SCU.
I want to say one more thing. They say Mackenzie Page is the youngest talent to perform on Dynamite or whatever. But did she really do anything? It
No,
could have been anybody getting squashed in that ring. Could be the 9-year-old girl that Kenny Omega fought.
Yeah.
Don't tell that to Cornette. He says that's Rico.
If you're not actually having... Oh, I want to bring that up. I don't like talking directly about other people's podcasts, but I was like, where's Rio been during all this? And Jim was just like, oh, maybe they broke up.
Cornette.
Stop sucking along with some shit. I'm like,
Dark Order and SCU.
Dark Order and Colt Cabana versus SCU.
Yeah.
other than how fake as shit that opening little bit they did was, where like Cabana's hurt trying to get out of the mats. Like, that
Yeah,
looked
I
pretty
mean,
fake.
if that guy had that freaking like 2 foot radius of a freaking bruise, he's in the hospital.
Oh, and one, that's true. And then when they do the mats, he doesn't even play the injury. Pretty much the
He
entire-
does. He does it on the moves that were designed to make it hurt. He shouldn't be able to move at all.
He plays it on the injury, but like you look at it, yeah, he should have never been able to do
Yeah.
that.
So I mean, but it's wrestling.
Kaz does a really good German suplex to Stu.
Also, having the other members of the Dark Order standing on the ring apron watching was pretty bad.
They always do that on the.
I liked it. I liked it.
Is that? Do they do that on every match for Dark Order?
Not always.
This is the first time I've seen like the whole Dark Order together, because Evil Uno and Stu Grayson just returned like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Then Stu does Flip Gordon's little flip thing,
Except he doesn't do it multiple times.
and you just did it once. Then Frankie dove at 2 members of the Dark Order. Don't know which numbers they were. There's the springboard DDT to Brody Lee by Kaz, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
At times in this match, I thought Brody was moving a little slow, or else he wasn't able to keep pace with the
Daniels.
faster moving people.
Daniels did that really cool dive to Brody Lee
Old
into
man
the barricade.
fly.
There's the best moonsault ever to Stu.
Best moonsault ever until the Bruiser.
There was
Come
that
on, Bruiser.
really nice lariat to Daniels by Brody Lee. Then Brody Lee makes Stu Grayson tag Colt Cabana to come in. Colt Cabana gets the pin. Colt Cabana and Dark Order to win. I gave it a 7.
The match was okay. I thought the story was pretty fun. With Cabana, is he or is he not in Dark Order? Is he or is he not going to be successful with them and whatever?
They keep letting him get the pins. That's the
And
story.
he came in and got the pin and he celebrated with them and then they go on their merry way. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, no, I don't have any complaints about it. It was there. It was fine.
Not counting the squash match, this is the worst match of the night.
And that's not even a
And
bad
that's not
match.
bad.
So
You just rated it higher than most of the first night's card.
the second card was good. I enjoyed. Like it was just.
Oh wait, not the worst night. The worst match of the night was Archer and
Archer and Janela.
Janela. I forgot that was night 2.
All right, so then we got the main event of night 2 here: Chris Jericho versus Orange Cassidy.
I think it delivered the way. Just right off the spot, I think it delivered in what it needed to do, or what they were trying to do with it.
Oh, definitely.
Jericho's over it. So this is why I didn't talk about it on night 1, but is when he was on commentary during the Santana Ortiz and private party match, he's just sitting there yelling, "What is he doing here? He's just
Get your feet off the table!
He's just freaking out.
Someone get some Windex!"
He hasn't even done anything. He's just yelling at him.
But it was funny to see Jericho. His face was like absolutely beat red.
He was pissed.
And he's playing it off like he's pissed. He's doing a really fucking great job.
It reminded me of the same thing with when they had the Tyson stare down. That was kind of dumb because Tyson couldn't rip the shirt after Double or Nothing. But yeah, they was like, "I'm gonna get you, Tyson. I'm gonna get you, Tyson."
Yeah, and then and he's just screaming his ass off, being held back by all these guys, and Cassidy's like, whatever.
Like, I don't know who he is, but I couldn't read it. Pineapple Pete.
Pineapple Pete.
Like, Orange Cassidy's just like sloth like he does.
Yeah.
And Pineapple Pete's all like intense, like, "Stay back, dude, stay back."
Yeah, read the room, bro.
But then we got Ortiz hit Orange Cassidy with a baseball.
Oh well, no. Let's start
sock.
off with how this starts because
Orange went aggressive at the beginning.
Orange basically beat the living shit out of Jericho for the first 2 minutes.
I wrote off like OC. I'm gonna call him OC. Just OC got the jump on Jericho at the beginning. Typical hands in pockets, drop kick, the shoulder flip. I don't know if he punched him or not yet at this point, but
when he
I don't remember. But I think he did his typical little set moves that he does at the beginning of a match.
Jericho hit OC with Leva Bates' book.
That was during the
commercial break. There was the shin tap into the super kick.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
There's a few things here because he does the pockets and we're like, oh, and then he like lines up the super kick. He's like, oh, okay, here we go. So,
and he freaking hits him.
All right, cool. I think one of my favorite moments, and like we're just kind of going off board, like not particularly in order. My favorite moment in the entire match is Jericho mocking him, where he does he pretends to put glasses on, pretends to put his hands in his pockets, he's got the dumb, stupid face.
The snub look on his face.
He's like,
True. That was funny too.
But after about I think Cassidy had like the first like 3-4 minutes, and Jericho just murdered this guy for like almost 10.
And then Orange gets his comebacks.
Yeah.
There was the flying sloth.
The flying sloth.
Yeah. Cassidy's fucking selling like a boss. He gets murdered on the outside.
I want to talk about the flying sloth. That's how I interrupt. I want to
there's
talk about that.
There's I think OC gets thrown into the barricade more than once. I mean, like he's just getting his ass kicked. And it's all to build up to Cassidy eventually stepping up to Jericho. Cassidy has a twist flip on Jericho on the outside, which is really cool.
To the whole inner circle.
They're all out there. There's that. He starts facing the ring, jumps, turns, and then somersaults on that twist.
Then right after that, there was the diving DDT.
Yep, that's what I was going to say next from the top rope.
Going back to that flying sloth thing, it was funny because when it first happened, you was like, "What the hell was that?" And I told you what it was called, and then they showed the replay. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It makes sense now.
I think after the DDT, the next big spot I saw was the OJ. Obviously, finally someone got hit with the
You
OJ.
called it. It's just the opposite.
Well,
It's
see, I wrote a
backwards.
little bit more. So I wrote that there was the attempted Superman punch into the walls of Jericho.
Oh yeah.
Then
So
they hit
He hit him
OC
with
with the OJ.
Yeah.
OJ to OC.
I was thinking that at the beginning of the match, while the three of them are coming out, Santana and Ortiz would throw the orange juice up, and Jericho would take the bat, as symbol, as some kind of symbolism.
Yeah, wait, it took us.
Well, then Jericho ended up hitting Cassidy with Floyd.
Yeah, it took us all the way until right before he hit him. I was like, it's Floyd. Like right when he was swinging at him, like, the bat's name is Floyd.
Then there was the code breaker onto OC, which he kicked out.
Yep.
Then there was the first Judas effect.
Well, at least looked like one.
Then there was the Michinoku driver to Jericho.
Yep.
Then there was that stunner
Yeah, it was
to
like
Jericho.
it was
that
like
one
a
is
suplex
he
into a
went up
stunner.
for the suplex and he turns and drops him down.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Like
And-
some of the counters in this whole show were pretty
Then
good.
there was that Superman punch that was reversed into the Judas effect.
Yep.
That effectively ended the match.
And then Jericho won 1, 2, 3.
And the funny thing, I want to talk about the timing because, like, they got to book it in the 2-hour show. They almost went off the air before this match ended.
I mean, I'm sure the referee was getting
I would
fed.
say, but that's maybe I'm not saying it felt rushed, but
They ended the show with like
like,
20 seconds
it went
left.
1, 2, 3, and then the timer's like 29, 20, 19, 18, 17.
Oh, for the next show for Kill Bill,
so when
yeah.
the next show was going to start, it's like, man, you really pushed that time.
They got like 20 minutes.
Yeah. So, but
Well,
like,
when Orange Cassidy started coming out, I paused it, and there was 21 and a half minutes left in the show.
Yeah, they got like 20 minutes.
I felt like it was rushed at the end. I'm not saying that they were bad, but you mentioned the time as we were watching it, and then it made sense. I felt they were a little rushed at the end, but I don't think Jericho hitting Judas effect again looked good at all because I think they had to end the match somehow. But it is what it is, and if they had to get that done, they had to get that done. I have no problems with it.
It's weird because, like, I want to say I don't like the Judas effect, but when he hits it flush, it
Yeah.
actually works. He
It
gave
depends
fucking.
on when he hits it.
I'm saying the best one I've seen, and it gave Darby a concussion.
Did it really?
Yeah, when
What's-
he hit Darby with it.
Darby did a suicide dive in a tag team match or something. Oh, it was the Lay Sex Gods versus Moxley and Allen, but Moxley was taken out
Yep.
before the match and after the match. Because that's when everybody thought Jericho was leaving for his tour. He's like, if I don't beat Moxley, or if Moxley walks out of this arena tonight, I'm going to suspend basically leave for 90 days, he says. So, like, everyone's like, oh, this is right after he lost the title. Foz is going to go on tour.
Yep.
He's definitely going to, like, Moxley's going to do his thing. So they take Mox out at the beginning of the match. He comes back at the end, and they still put him out, and Jericho's still around. But the Darby thing during that match, it's where it ended, actually. Darby does a suicide dive to the outside, and Jericho just knocks his ass out, like connects flush as he's doing this. Like, I don't think they meant it to actually look
like that, but I'm sure it looks fantastic.
Oh, it looks fantastic.
Because he hit him.
Darby's flying straight flat motion, everything gets hit straight to the floor.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
My overall observation for this match was Orange Cassidy and the way he was able to get those 2 counts looked so real.
Jericho did exactly what he needed to do to make Cassidy go over in a loss.
This is the match out of all of them that needed a crowd, and that's the only thing that was missing. I wanted to hear the crowd react to Orange Cassidy surviving and yet still not winning.
Can he beat Jericho? Can
Yeah,
he beat Jericho?
I think. And so I'm giving this match like an 8.5. It would have been like a 9 if there was a crowd. And I know it's not their fault, but I had to slight it a little bit.
Well, that's the point I'm getting at with where I was going to go next. So you actually transitioned into my own segment.
You're welcome.
This is not as good as Orange Cassidy and Pac.
No, that match was
Because
great.
that crowd was fire.
Hell yeah.
For
They
Orange
were
Cassidy.
so hyped.
Like everything, the booing Pac for ruining the moment, just laughing at Orange Cassidy, cheering when he's doing something. Like that match, I don't care what anybody says, it's fantastic.
What would you give that Orange Cassidy Jericho match?
I give it an 8. It did what it needed to
I
do.
gave it an 8 as well. It was a great second night of Fyter Fest.
And also, Orange Cassidy can fucking go, dude. I don't care if you hate his sloth gimmick. When he, like, his aggression at the beginning, and then, like, doing his typical shit too.
But that's the point. People don't understand the gimmick. If it's so polarizing.
I could definitely
because
see him.
People who don't understand it don't like it. But the thing is, it's a gimmick and it's different. And as far as I'm concerned, I think you're losing sight of what wrestling is. If a guy comes out with this new gimmick and it's different and it's over, I'm sorry, well, not necessarily over, but it's effective in getting the crowd behind him, and the guy executes it well, what's wrong with it? Embrace it.
I'm going to make a prediction, and I think it's a great idea, but I don't think they'll do it. My prediction is Orange Cassidy will be the one to take the belt from Cody.
That'd be cool.
Be the second TNT champion. But it needs to happen when they have a crowd.
Yeah.
Don't keep Cody champion, defending the title over and over and over again, and then when you have a crowd, give Orange Cassidy the match, and it'll be a shock. Nobody would expect it, and the crowd would go crazy.
Overall, these two nights, I was really impressed with Mark Quinn and Penelope Ford. I could see those two guys. Or I'm sorry,
those two
guys.
I could see Quinn.
I didn't know Penelope had a
I could see Quinn being a single star. Ford, I think. I don't know how green she is. She seemed like
she was green when she came in. She's progressed.
She's gotten better.
She's gotten way better since the first match.
I loved her part in the match.
This is the kind of transition that you want to see from the because they say, oh, AEW has no women and they don't know how to wrestle.
Yeah.
She is the example of what they want out of the people they brought in. They want to build their own people so that you could have this same match in 3 years and it would be Chris more.
I could see the both of them being like the head of their divisions within like a year, maybe two.
Well, I can, like, he's gonna leave before I drive you home. I can show you the TNT Championship match with Cody, because he had a singles match against Cody for the TNT title.
Oh, against Quinn.
Mark Quinn did, yeah.
Yeah, Mark Quinn's great. He's fucking awesome. Hell, Cassidy could he and Quinn could be fighting. Like, could you imagine OC turning heel?
That's what he asked during the
I
match.
said during the match, I was like, how would you do an OC heel turn?
I don't know, because like he could just be.
And even if he did go heel, how you gotta? The only way to make a heel turn work is to get the fans to turn with it.
Yeah, so he had to find the ultimate baby face and turn on that person. Has he said a word yet?
On Shot of Brandy, I just said that I watched Shot of Brandy.
Yeah.
Her YouTube show, and he talks. It's like, oh, that's what he sounds like.
He's never talked on the actual show. Like, they've given him a mic, and he just doesn't say anything.
He's just like.
But I believe he could talk. Cause he's
half thumbs up, not even full thumbs up.
Like, I believe he can talk. Like, watching on Shot of Brandy is like just talking as himself. He could probably do some good. Like, I don't know about good mic work, but
probably do a decent promo.
He can do a promo. It's not going to sound like Marco Stunt with a microphone in front of him.
I don't know if I want to hear that. Probably sounds like a pipsqueak.
But overall, yeah, like, it's unfortunate that we are not reviewing the Mox Cage match. But
I'm not sure.
Circumstances.
Like, based on what we saw with Jericho and Cassidy, I'm not sure if that match would have been better than this one. I don't know.
Well, I'm not saying this match would have happened either way. But what we got in turn, we're still getting Mox and Cage, but we got the Private Party Omega Page match, which we wouldn't have gotten.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if I don't know if Mox and Cage would have been better than this match or not.
I'm pretty sure everything would have played out exactly the same.
Yeah,
because I think the exact amount of time that they gave Page, Omega, and Private Party was the Mox Cage, because that match was not going to go long.
No,
they were going to beat the shit out of each other, and it was going to end fast.
It was going to be like probably 10 minutes or so.
It's going to be like Brody Lee and Mox was just under 15, and it was fantastic.
And maybe we wouldn't have gotten Nyla Rose's nonsense and.
No, we still.
No, that was already booked.
No, well, but maybe the Taz nonsense we wouldn't have gotten then.
Well, you wouldn't have gotten the Taz nonsense no matter what.
So basically, I think what would have happened was
slap me.
What would have happened was that time for the tag team match plus the Taz promo,
which wasn't very long.
So like between that entrance and the tag team, so like 15 to 17 minutes would have been for the world title match.
Yeah.
And we'll see that next week. I guarantee it's still going to be the same story, same set.
I'll be tuning in. That's gonna be a good show anyway. They already got a couple.
FTR and the Lucha Brothers.
Yeah.
Then you got the Elite versus Jurassic Express.
And Cody versus Sonny Kiss for the TNT title.
Cody and Sonny Kiss.
That's going to be interesting.
If they do, they do.
All right. So I'd obviously recommend this show to
Sonny's going to be there?
To a fan.
Well, like I said, it's a special event because they called it Fyter Fest. Just like Great American Bash is a special event. But it's still a special event on free TV. I don't see this being any different Then they did their anniversary show on January 1st. They did
Bash
Bash of the Beach on the 15th of January. The only thing that felt truly special that they did for free TV was when they did the boat cruise. Cause that
The
was
Sea of Jericho.
the Jericho boat cruise, because that was just a special,
That was a
completely
special.
out of, like, different. Like, nobody did that.
Yeah, Jericho had a Q&A with a bunch of other wrestlers on that cruise, and I think it's on his podcast. So check it out; it's pretty cool. Jake Roberts, Booker T.
Yeah, I saw the one with Ric Flair or whatever I listened to.
It was pretty good. Check it out.
Either way, that's the show this week.
I enjoyed it.
We'll be putting this one up and then going back to our regular scheduled
Program.
older
Watch
reviews.
parties.
Watch party reviews, whatever.
Watch Wrestling Party!
It's just funny because if you ever get this far, we keep talking about reviews that haven't put up yet. This one is going up, then the Impact review. That'll happen.
Yeah.
And then
Cool.
is it Field of Honor, or did we do one before that?
We did Field of Honor. We also did Manhattan Mayhem.
Okay, so one of those shows will be after the Impact.
The
but this
one for Flip Gordon, the Manhattan Mayhem show. Otherwise, the Field of Honor show.
we won't be doing a review like this for Great Mac Bash, obviously, because that just happened. But we won't be doing one for the horror show at Extreme Rules.
Not until fans come back. When fans come back, we will.
The only one, because fans probably won't be back by then, if we can make it into the program, I'm not guaranteeing that, is SummerSlam. But we are doing All Out.
Yeah, we'll do All Out. And there's a slight chance that I might throw a couple bucks at Slammiversary.
Like I said, we won't do WWE with no fans. But we'll do Slammiversary in LA.
Well, I just want to see what happens at Slammiversary with all these teases. It's just interesting.
EC3 basically guaranteed he's going to be there.
But then he also almost pretty much guaranteed he's going to be at All Elite.
But after that All Elite one, like somebody literally asked him about being the final person. He said, July 18th sounds like a good day for a fight. I'm going to fight on July 18th.
And, they've been showing promos for, Mike Bennett, Maria, Bully Ray,
Eric
Young, Kurt Angle, Gallows, Anderson, Spud,
I could
Chris
say
Sabin.
EC3 will be there.
They're not getting all those people. I guarantee you that.
They pretty
Not
much
getting Spud, that's for sure.
They pretty much already have the Good Brothers.
Yeah, they've been
All
confirmed.
but confirmed. But either way, that's kind of the idea that we're going with here.
We're gonna wrap her up.
Peace.
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 See ya.
See you.